back at the coffee table again, and you're in for a treat this time because we're looking at some, what we call chips. I believe they call them chips in the US as well, but in the UK they call them crisps, do they not, Linden?
That's right.
But it's weird because I feel like we're the only country in the world that refers to 3 different things as chips. Or is it 2 different things as chips? So in the US, I know they have what they call these, crisps, which they call chips. We also call them chips. But then they have what we call chips, they call French fries as well. But then there's like, you'd think like, okay, so the thin ones, like the shoelace ones are French fries. And then the thick ones, they'd be chips, right? No, they're thick cut fries in the US. In the UK, all chips are just chips, and then all crisps are just crisps.
And of course, they've got computer crisps as well in the UK.
Computer crisps, yeah. Linden's all the way on the other side of the room. He's relaxed at the moment. He's preparing himself mentally for what he's about to endure. So we saw recently so the reason that I had the idea for this video is we saw a brilliant video from the BBC all the way back from 1981, where they had people in the street in London, I believe, trying different, what they called exotic flavors of crisps. And they attempted to identify what those flavors were, and they were all pretty hopeless.
What do you think those are?
That is very difficult.
It's chicken.
Never. Well, that first one.
No, that one. The one you
chicken.
just said is
Well,
chicken.
they don't taste like the chicken I do. This knocks not cock of on, is it?
So I thought I'd put Linden to the test. He is a master of identifying potato chip flavors, being someone who doesn't often eat them.
Who doesn't eat potato chips and famously only eats one flavor?
Yeah. What flavor is the one that you eat?
Salt and vinegar.
Oh, really?
Because most potato chips make me feel sick.
Well,
So I don't eat them often.
Well, I hate to say it, but none of these are salt and vinegar. Not a single one of these is salt and vinegar. So, yeah, you're going to have your work cut out for you. But that, I guess that makes it even like better of a challenge because, first of all, you're not used to eating any of these flavors. So you won't be like, oh, I've had this one a million times. And second of all, we'll be able to identify how easy it is for the layperson, someone who's not familiar with eating a lot of chips.
Are these Lays?
Well, one of them is. Wait, none of them, actually. No. We call them Thins here. Our version of Lay's is like Thins.
Isn't Lays like a brand?
Yes.
But Lays is Smith's here?
That's right. But then we have
And it's, what, Parker in America?
Yeah, but
I don't know why they've got regional distinct names.
It's
Not
very
regional.
strange, but like the Lay's chips are often very thin and skinny, and then our closest equivalent is Thins, which is another brand, but that might be owned by someone else entirely. Anyway, so yeah, we'll also be able to tell, since you're not familiar with a lot of chip flavors, we'll be able to tell as someone with a layperson's palate if these do in fact taste like the things that they're supposed to taste like. So yeah, all right. So we've ordered them as such. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was originally just going to get 3, but then I got carried away in the shops and just kept finding ones that I kept getting excited about. So why don't we start with number 1? I'm keen to find out straight away what your thoughts on this one. So this is going to be...
I think these are plain, just regular chips.
No, they're not.
No.
So this one is a twofer. So first of all, I want you to identify what kind of chips they are, because the rest are all potatoes, as in regular potatoes.
I assume that's a sweet potato of some kind.
Well, you've got that straight away without even eating it. And then you've also got to identify what flavor it is of sweet potato chip. So why don't you give it a crack
All right.
at your leisure. And I'll probably try it as well, just so I'll be able to see what you're tasting. Because I haven't tried half of these either. I'm curious. Well, that's very subtle. Good luck with that one.
It's very nice.
It is very nice, I must say.
It's maybe like a...
It's probably going to be the subtlest and least offensive out of all of
I don't
these.
know, is it like a sweet chili?
No, it hasn't got chili in it at all.
Oh. But it's like got a slight sweet flavour to it. So I don't know if it's like a sweet and sour sauce or something like that.
It's actually rosemary and garlic.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
No, tasting it and knowing what the flavor is, I wouldn't have guessed that either. Because I do somewhat taste like the sweetness you're talking about, and like almost the chili. Like there is almost a little bit of spice to it, even though there's
Yeah.
none in there.
It's not spicy, but it's like it feels like there's like a slight a suggestion of like a sweet chili sauce in it.
Yeah. Well, I can sort of see that as well. All right, why don't we move on to number 2? And this one's going to be slightly more challenging, but not so much so. You give that one a go.
All right.
And again, I'm going to join you.
Okay. So I assume
So I'm just chewing away.
that this one is like one of those sort of like kettle brand chips. They've got something called like, you know, it's like roasted duck.
Ooh. Well, you actually got the brand. You got this is kettle chips. You did actually get the brand straight off the bat. And it does have it doesn't have roast in the title, but you're on the right track. It is a meat.
No clue what it could be meat wise, like honey glazed ham. Could be. I find that they never taste like the things that they say they are.
I find sometimes they do, but in this circumstance, you'd be hard pressed, I think. Tasting it myself, you'd be hard pressed to sort of identify what exactly are the two.
Is it like
Two
honey
key
soy
ingredients.
chicken or something?
No.
No?
No. So it's Angus beef and caramelized onion. I
Okay.
might get caramelized onion from that, but the roast beef flavoring in there is very, very sort of I want to say subtle again, but I don't know. It's just not a very strong roast beef flavor.
Honestly, it tastes more like chicken. It tastes like potatoes, to be. But,
Yeah, which is probably a good thing. If they did taste like
but if it was
potatoes,
any
you'd be worried.
meat, I would guess chicken. I would guess it tastes more like chicken than like chicken flavored chips would be.
Yeah, it does have somewhat of a chicken flavor. Mind you, the chicken flavor in chips sort of feels like, the impression I get is like they tasted it and they're like, oh, close enough. Because it never actually does taste like chicken. Chicken flavoring to me doesn't taste like chicken at all.
No.
Like even chicken salt, which isn't supposed to taste like chicken, tastes more like chicken than chicken flavoring to me.
Cheese and a little bit sharp. A little bit sharp. Mm.
Nice, huh?
There's more vinegar in it, like salt and vinegar, isn't it?
It's prawn cocktail.
Oh, prawn cocktails.
All right, let's move on to number 3. Now, this one's going to be interesting. I've had this one before, and I think it's quite an interesting flavor, but I'm keen to get your thoughts on what you think it is. And again, I'm going to join you. Very distinctive. So, just so you know as well, the flavors get a bit more exotic as we go along as well. So
okay.
they're going to be, as we move up to number 7, they're going to be harder and harder to identify.
Because my guess probably doesn't match up now with that hint. I thought like maybe barbecue.
You're very close. You're very close. It's barbecue related. Give it one more guess and be a bit more adventurous with your guess.
What am I barbecuing?
Yeah.
The dreams of children. I don't know.
There's a lot of elements involved with the flavor of this one,
Right.
combined together to make one barbecue experience, let's say. Very traditionally Australian barbecue, let's say that.
Is it barbecue prawns?
No, it's not no. We're not putting another shrimp on the barbie.
And there's plenty of shrimps on the barbie.
So this is sausage sandwich flavored chip.
Sausage sandwich flavor. Okay.
Yeah. You're standing out the front of Bunnings on a Saturday morning and you've just paid $1 for a sausage sandwich. That's the flavor you're supposed to be getting from this chip.
Yeah, that's fair. I can be like sure.
The thing that I taste the most when I eat these is the tomato sauce flavor.
Right.
It tastes very much like that cheap, sort of like fountain brand tomato sauce that you always get on those Bunnings hot dogs or sausage sandwiches around at someone's crap barbecue.
Right.
Yeah, so that's always the dominant flavor for me. The sausage aspect, like the actual meat itself, can't taste that at all. It just tastes like potato chips with tomato sauce flavor.
Yes, but I would say that's fair. Unlike the Angus beef. one.
Yes.
What muck have you got in them?
Just have a little taste.
Cheese and onion.
No. Why does it taste like cheese and onion?
Because they are cheese and onion.
They're not.
I know what I'm eating, love.
All right, should we move on to this one?
All right.
Which one? I think this one will be a lot less subtle than the other ones, but again, you're going to have to be very sort of open-minded in what flavour this exactly is. And it's got a very loud crunch, as you hear. Linden's grimacing as he eats this one.
Is it like sour cream and onions? Something like that?
No.
I was
no.
expecting to be chicken flavouring.
Yeah.
So I was quite surprised. It's like I'm maybe the little bits of green, so it's like chives and cream.
My guess is that the greens are supposed to be some sort of herb. In fact, I know they're some sort of herb. It's almost somewhat related to the last one in a way. Not exactly the same. As in, it's bread related.
Bread related.
There's a bread element to it.
You seem to favour bready chips.
Well, as in we've had 2.
Yes. That's a
2 out of 7.
yeah.
It's like the Meatloaf song. Because 2 out of 7 ain't bad.
I just sort of get a sour cream taste from it.
Really?
I'm trying to think like what bread related item is like sour cream?
This really is just like that BBC video. It's just so hard to identify the flavours because it just everything tastes like
they're
that's
nonsense.
prawn cocktail.
They're absolutely nonsense, aren't they?
What mock is this? So this is garlic bread, cheesy garlic bread flavour. So when I tried it just then, I was like, oh, that's going to be too easy because it tastes so strongly of garlic. And there's that cheese flavouring as well that you always get with a lot of chips too.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's just cheese and garlic flavour, but they say it's cheesy garlic bread because they're like, well, that's something. That's something we can put on a packet. That's a novelty.
I feel like whereas the barbecue what was it, sausage sandwich where you go, yeah, that's fair, that does sort of taste like that. Cheesy garlic is not what I picked up from that.
Okay.
I didn't think cheese. Maybe I eat different sorts of cheese.
Perhaps.
Is that one a bit difficult?
If you tell me what it is, I'll confirm it.
Cheesy garlic bread aside, let's move on to our next flavour, which is one that I've had before as well. I'd be very curious to see what your thoughts are on this one. Because I think this one has a very strong flavour. So let's see what your thoughts are on this one.
Does this also have garlic?
No garlic in this one.
Oh, it's a big one.
There it is. Again, we are going more exotic as we go along flavour-wise.
That's an artificial flavour, like, I sort of recognise.
It's not quite an artificial flavour. It's a. I'll give you somewhat of a hint. It's a sauce.
A natural flavour.
It's not a natural.
On these chips.
So it's a sauce flavour. It's a specific type of sauce that'd be familiar to a certain culture. Let's just say that.
I assume it's like soy sauce.
It's not soy sauce, but you're on the right track.
It's such a strong flavour.
It is.
But it does seem very familiar, and it's bugging me.
So again, to give you a bit of a hint,
I can't like put my finger on it, but it does sound.
It's a type of bird, and it goes with a sauce. It's got 2 legs.
Yeah.
It's
I was trying
not.
to think
It's
of
not
like
butterfly.
honey soy chicken or something like that, but it doesn't. Well, it sort of tastes like that. But did you say it's not butterfly?
Yes.
Butterfly notorious for their 2 legs.
Yes.
Yeah, I imagine it's some sort of like glazed, like honey soy chicken or sweet soy chicken is. Even though you've said
I've said that it's not soy. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep doubling down on soy. Yeah, what is it?
So it's roast duck with hoisin sauce.
Okay, I would not have guessed that.
I certainly can't taste the duck, but I can definitely taste the hoisin sauce because that's a very strong, distinctive flavour, and that's the large element of these chips. If you struggled with that one, you're definitely going to struggle with this one, the second last one, our penultimate chip flavour, because this one is basically, how would I say it without giving it too much away? It's basically like a seasoning with an ingredient.
Seasoning with ingredients.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll try one as well, since I don't think I've ever tried these ones. Actually, that's not bad. It's almost like a sweet dessert.
That's what I thought. Like, it's a rather mellow flavor. After being assaulted with like the last 3 flavors.
Yes, these 3 were very strong. It's like the little dessert at the end of
like
your dinner. And this one will be the
A
snack.
welcome relief.
A reprieve, yeah. That's not bad at all. I don't mind that. I'm shocked I've never had it before. Well, there's one dominant flavour in there that I think is easy to identify.
I can't really identify any flavor. It is.
He likes them though.
Well, I'm trying to guess the flavor.
Yeah, true.
The flavor I find dissipates.
You got to do that there.
Quickly.
Bounce it off your palate.
All I get is like a very brief. Well, it doesn't taste like that at all, actually.
What were you gonna say?
When you first put it in, you get a very like brief, like musk stick like.
Oh
flavor.
yes, yeah, I could definitely see that.
But yeah, I can't figure out the flavor at all. It's so.
So it starts off very sweet, doesn't it? And then
Yes.
it instantly goes
Meaty,
spicy. Or
Spicy. Oh yeah, it does.
like a little bit of a spice with a little bit of meatiness. There's no meat in this flavour, by the way. But there is two main elements that make it up.
So we've got a sweet and we've got
A
spice.
seasoning, yes, that's right.
It's almost like a sweet chili almost, but that's not what sweet chili tastes like.
No.
So I imagine it's like some sort of chili.
Mm.
But it's a chili that the spice, or I guess the chili's spice, right?
Yes, that's right. So this is smoked chipotle and honey.
Okay.
Like the honey is definitely the sweet element, and then the spicy factor is the chipotle. But chipotle always tastes terrible to me. I don't know.
I was going
why
to say, I
could
love these foods. Like these last 2 we've had, I haven't had before.
You haven't had hoisin sauce or chipotle?
No.
You've had it in stuff, I can tell you that.
Okay. Well, I couldn't identify.
Probably not
what
on
it
its
was.
own.
If you asked me to draw a picture of it, I couldn't.
Yeah, well, I could really identify what chipotle is either. I thought it was like a fast food restaurant in the US. Well, if you can't identify these and you've not had those foods before, or those seasonings / sauces before, you're really going to struggle to identify the last one.
Right.
Because I'm sure this is something you've never had before. And it has a very distinctive flavor. So anyone who's had this food, because it's a specific type of food, will probably recognize the flavor. I'm going to try it now because this is something I've eaten a lot of. Oh, yeah.
So this is like one of your personal favorites.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a favorite per se, but this is something I'm very familiar with. But I tried it just then to see if it tastes anything like it. Tastes exactly
So I
like it.
assume it's like hamburger or something.
No, I did not buy any hamburger chips this time around. I could have. Here's the thing though, if you've not had it, you won't be able to identify it straight away. But if you have, oh boy.
Also, my mouth has like been burnt by all these sort of like flavors.
Your palate's
so it's
been
like,
ruined.
So it's like on fire.
These also should be fairly spicy too.
Okay. I do recognize it a bit.
Oh yeah?
But like, the after thing seems very familiar.
I'll give you a hint with this one. If you're a university student, you'd probably eat a lot of this.
Oh, is it like instant noodles? Oh, I see.
It is a type of instant noodle, specifically mee goreng.
Okay.
Indomie mee goreng flavor. This is an official branded Indomie mee goreng flavored chip. And it tastes exactly like the mee goreng flavoring.
I imagine because that's what they're flavored in.
Yeah, that's exactly what they flavor it with. It's just the mee goreng flavoring.
Choosing something that is like already artificially flavored is probably a clever idea.
Yeah. Well, if you like the flavor of mee goreng, and spoiler alert for people out there, I don't like the flavor of mee goreng. I think it makes your breath taste like arse and smell like arse, I suppose, for a really long time after you eat it.
Right.
And I find like if you mix your own sort of flavoring in rather than using the packet seasoning, you're much better off than going with the disgusting flavor. But I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who really like it. And now you can enjoy it in chip form. You specifically, because I'm going to give all these chips to you after this video. No, we're going to be...
Say, what am I going to do with them?
Yeah, we're going to be eating chips, or more so specifically, I'm going to be eating chips for like every meal for like the next 2 weeks.
I can feel in the chip on your shoulder with all this.
Well, I've got to say, thankfully, the mee goreng packet, that was basically the entire packet because that was the smallest one
Right.
that I got. But then the one that I've got the most of is the sausage sandwich one.
Oh no.
So I've got to have like sausage sandwich flavored chips for like, I don't know, days.
Now, if you had to guess, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a hard guess.
Mm.
But if you had to think which one I like the most,
Oh, that's
which one
easy.
would be?
That's easy. You like the rosemary and garlic sweet potato ones, right?
Yes, they were
And
by far the nicest.
They were easily the best. And I've got to say the second best for me were the smoked chipotle and honey ones. Because they were just a nice difference from all these other really strong flavors. What was your second favorite?
Ooh.
Did you have a second favorite? Or was it just a circumstance of you just like these ones the best?
Yeah, I didn't really like any of the others. As I said, I'm not a big chip eater, and I don't really like flavored chips.
Well, I must say you did an admirable job, but you didn't get close on any of them, which I'm very surprised at. I like that most of them, you're like, it's sweet chili. And none of them had sweet chili in it at all.
Also, like, it doesn't help that you bought like
I tried to go
over half of foods that I haven't really had before.
Well, true. That's what makes it a challenge.
What does this taste like? Something you haven't had.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I didn't want to make it too easy. And I tried to make them all very different from each other as well, in the hopes that they'd be radically different. So I don't think you'd be able to confuse two of these flavors with each other.
No.
So yeah, there's that. All right. Well, I don't think we can draw this out any longer. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Try one of those.
They're the same bloody things.
Look how big this chip is. It's huge. I've never seen a chip that big. It's almost as big as the bowl.